project. It's going to be another log bowl. I've got a beautiful bit of sweet chestnut that was given to me from St. Michals Church, and as a thank you, what I thought I'd do is make a nice little bowl for the rector of the church. That's going to be tonight's project. So I've cut the log round on the bandsaw, and I've also peeled the bark off because it was going to fly off if I turn the lathe on. I put a faceplate on the back so I can connect it to my chuck, and we're going to turn the back profile of the bowl first. Then we are going to turn the inside of the bowl. And to do this, we're going to be using a bowl gouge. And we want to set our tool rest about halfway, so along the centre line, when we're cutting with this tool. So I've got a negative rate scraper, and we're going to scrape this just to try and neaten up this end grain. So that feels really, really smooth with the cut I've got. We're going to see if we can get this a little bit more smoother, and then we're going to go on to some sanding by the looks of it. Feels a little bit better. So getting some end grain coming through there, a rough end grain. I'm going to sand that out. So I'm working from 240 grit, and we're going to go up the grits then to get this smooth. Oh, it's feeling really good now. Happy with that. A little bit more work down the bottom. Yeah, let's get a nice finish on there. It's going to go up to a higher grit. Just using something called Abranet, so it's like a meshy type net. And this is really good because what happens is it will let all the sawdust come through the mesh rather than just clog up. But it tends to be a bit more expensive than normal sandpaper. Doing some hand sanding, trying to get in the direction of the grain. It feels really smooth now, which is nice. That's what we're aiming for. Right, we're going to apply a finish to this. Then we are going to cut a little mortise in the bottom. So the first thing we're going to need to do before we put a finish on is apply a sanding sealer, so cellulose sanding sealer. Put a little blob on the cloth, rub them round. Quite a lot of character in this piece actually. Lots of knots and interesting grain pattern. A little tiny bit of spalting as well with a look at that black line. Apply a tiny bit more as it's running. A nice even coat of this, and I'm using paper towel. I tend to get more friction with paper towel, plus it's safer than cloth. So we're just going to burnish it into the grains using the paper towel. Turn up the speed, pushing quite hard, and the idea behind sanding sealer is it seals the pores of the wood. So anything that you're putting on top of it then is on top of the wood rather than sinking down into those pores. So that's my understanding of it anyway. Let's go for... we're going to go for a friction polish. Light coat this. Quite hot today, so we'll see how this finish comes out. got a nice finish. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up, but it's almost like a glass finish on there, which is lovely. Right, you flip him round after we put the mortise in the bottom. So I've got a Forstner bit set up, so it's a 32mm Forstner bit, and I've got these little Woodturning logo discs I tend to put in the bottom, so it helps brand your bowl, and it also helps hide up that mortise at the bottom that Woodturning clubs don't tend to like. Right, move him up, lock the tailstock, and we're going to do this nice and slowly, only about 300 RPM. Now with this mortise type joint, what I suggest, you always have a bit of chunky wood either side, otherwise it tends to just tear out if you're remounting it and you're spinning it fast, you get a catch. So always try and make sure you've got quite a bit of mass there so the jaws can expand out and hold on to. Right, let's flip this guy round. We can take the screws out, then turn the inside. So I've got my pin jaws in the headstock, and I always put a little spacer in, a little plastic spacer, and that tends to help this sit flat on there, because I've done a little concave curve on these so they sit flat on the table. And I'm going to expand the jaws outwards. Just want it enough so it's biting. If you do it too much, you end up with two halves. Right, so we're going to turn the inside profile of the bowl using the same bowl gouge as we did before. Right, got the inside of the bowl finished now. Take him out. There we go. Here's the finished piece. So all we need to do next is just glue our logo in and be ready for the Vicar. So I hope she thoroughly enjoys this.